from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is a podcast that's here to cheer you up in a sense, not directly, not in the traditional sense of cheer you up. I don't know if you ever got the sense. Do you ever feel pressure of, like, if someone says they're going to cheer you up? Does that make you want to crumble with expectations like me? You see, I don't know if I can handle you coming over and cheering me up. That's way too much pressure on me. How about this? We just agree not to be, like, you keep your cheer. I'm aware you're cheery, and I'm glad you reached out to me to schedule time to cheer me up. Is this what, like, Eeyore's friends with, like, Winnie the Pooh and stuff? I wonder if do they ever have these kind of conversations alone? Or does Eeyore ever wish they had their own podcast, and they're like, I wish I had a podcast where I could just be honest with people. And they'd say, Eeyore, you're always honest. Eeyore, what's a podcast? There you go again, Eeyore. We're coming over to cheer you up. I say, well, as a matter of fact, you get honey everywhere. Like, I do have a point. I realize that, but, if we're stuffed animals, as one of the theories goes, we shouldn't have anything to do with honey. Come on. So anyway, if you're new, you may be like, this dude has no idea what he's talking about on so many levels. And I'd say you're probably right, but I really am here to do the bedtime equivalent of low pressure cheering you up, which is barely, I'm cheerish. I'm on the quiet side of cheer. I mean, I think that's, except I talk nonstop. So I'm glad you're here. If you are new, this show is very different. It's called Sleep With Me. It's a podcast to put you to sleep. I've been doing this about 10 years. And what I found is, one, it's an honor to be here to try to put you to sleep. And two, I'm really here to take your mind off stuff and keep you company so you could fall asleep, just like I'm not here to cheer you up or cheer for the home team. If they don't win, like, why do they use that word? And, but you know what I'm saying? I'm here to keep you company, to be your friend in the deep, dark night. It does take some getting used to, because before I made Sleep With Me, the idea of, like, sleep audio was like that it's supposed to put you to sleep in some sort of direct manner, instead of the idea of, like, hey, could I just call a friend and they talk to me about nothing? And then they get confused, and then they, pause it. Wait a second, because part of it does make sense, right? I mean, I'm not positive about any of it, but it's like, if you're a stuffed animal and you've become sentient and you have a degree of independence, like you say, I'm a stuffed animal. I somehow became conscious and sentient and mobile. I think I've been anthropomorphized, but, and I'm living independently. So I don't want to have anything to do with honey. Anything sticky, keep it away from me. I mean, I'm trying to maintain a degree of mobility, cleanliness, and not just being sticky, right? Like, what if I want, I don't know. There probably aren't magazines anymore in this world I'm imagining. But if there were, I can imagine. Oh wait, I'm supposed to introduce the sleep podcast. I got to get to the sorry, Eeyore and whatever plush-based beings I'm speculating on. It's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast to put you to sleep. And I'm glad you're here. Give it a few tries. Structurally, we got support. That's how we let people. We got sponsor support first, and that's how most people like to listen, is this ad-supported free version of the show, and they listen linearly. After the support is a long intro, probably be a little bit shorter because I've gone on so much already, but that's meant to ease you into bedtime. Then there'll be sponsor support. Then I guess I got an idea for an episode from this intro, so we'll see where that goes. I thought it was going to be about something, but now it'll be about something else. And I think that's it. So I'm glad you're here. I work really hard, and these sponsors are how we're able to do it for you for free twice a week. Hey, everybody, Scoots here, and I'm talking about the show, all the feedback I've been getting lately, and one of the most important things I've been hearing about Sleep With Me, and I've asked listeners, hey, what's most important to you is consistency. That the show is here, you count on it, it's consistently there, over 600 episodes are ready to go, comes out twice a week. You know, I'm going to be here, and, you know, the episodes are going to be over an hour. And it's a consistent part of your routine. And, you know, from my perspective, I know how much work and how many people have to work on the show to maintain that consistency. But I have to ask you, what's that consistency worth to you? Like having the podcast there, you know, if you listen to it 2 nights a week, or if you listen to it 5 nights a week, because that's when the show is designed, is to be there every school night or every work night consistently for you. But it's just not possible for us to put out 5 episodes a week. It's harder putting out 2 episodes a week. But having the podcast there consistently for you, how much is that worth to you? Like, is it worth $60 to you over a year? Do you listen enough consistently for it to be worth $60 or $120? Is that consistency worth $240 to you a year? I mean, you could support the show monthly. But think about it. Like, do you get $240 of consistent value out of this podcast month after month and night after night, having it consistently coming out and being there for you? Or is something else more important to you? Not the consistency. It's having me as host or having a variety of styles of episodes or whatever it is. You can let me know. Don't wait is the thing, because consistency relies on me being here, everybody that works on the show being here, and we're a listener-supported show. So if the show is worth $60, $120, or $240 a year, consider supporting the show right now on Sleep With Me Plus. And that's your vote for consistency. So yeah, actually listen to 5 episodes a night consistently. So of course it's worth $240. Or you say, well, yeah, I don't have $240, but I could support the show at $7 a month. You can do any of that at Sleep With Me Plus. And here's the other bonus is if you support the show on Sleep With Me Plus, you don't just support the consistency for you, because I've been hearing from a lot of people who can't support the show. You support the consistency for thousands of other people night after night around the world who consistently rely on the show. But we can only do it with your support. So if you consistently get value out of the podcast, consider giving it back too, and support the show at sleepwithmepodcast.com/plus. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on this show. Who are they?
Chris Posty Poster Son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the Legend. Also edits episodes. Ashley, Kenny, Scotty, Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at Astound are on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support, dear Scooter, on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Hannah like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks, Mystery Bard. Don't forget, one of the most popular ways to listen to Sleep With Me is with sleep phones, and you can get Sleep With Me branded sleep phones at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sleep-phones. And you can use the promo code Sleep With Me to get $5 off your order. Thanks, everybody. And what do you say we get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do it with a bedtime story. All you need to do is get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. I'm going to do the rest. What I'm going to attempt to do is create a safe place where you can set aside whatever's keeping you awake. It could be thoughts on your mind, like things you're thinking about the past, the present, the future, literature, children's literature, or whatever I don't know what, that was Winnie the Pooh, right? Not sure if that was a children's book or not. I'm not the brightest bulb, obviously. But whatever's keeping you awake, it could be thoughts, it could be feelings, like emotions related to those thoughts, or feelings that are there from about something coming up or just past. Could be feelings that, you say, where'd these come from? It could be feelings about Plush-based beings. It could be physical sensations, changes in time, temperature, routine. Whatever it is that's keeping you awake, I'm here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff so you could fall asleep. And the reason I make the show and I run through some of the things that might be keeping you awake isn't to point them out so much as to point out the fact that you're not alone. I am here to keep you company and take your mind off stuff and tell you a story. And here's the other great thing. Since I've been making the show, there's tons of other sleep audio content, more and more every day. And you could check out some of that at sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you. So if you already know this podcast won't work for you, check some of that stuff out. But the thing is that most people that this show works for, and the first and second and third listen, they didn't like the show either because they were like, this is not what I expected. But the people that have been listening for a long time and the people the show helps, they said, oh, I had no idea I was looking for something like this. But it comes back to that fact that whatever's keeping you awake, maybe not everybody in your regular life understands, but we understand here. Not only do we understand what it's like physically, what it's like mentally, what it's like emotionally. I think there's a lot of people listening right now nodding their heads and know what it's like at a deeper level, how it feels at a deeper level. And whatever it is you're going through, I can maybe relate to how it feels. I'm pretty sure I can relate to at least some of the feelings. But the great news is that someone listening right now, somewhere in the world that we all share, there is someone out there, and they're sitting up in bed right now, or at least, doing the equivalent of lying in bed, but sitting up figuratively. And they're nodding their head because they are glad you're here, because they know exactly how you feel, or pretty much how you feel, because they've been through something similar. And they're like, man, I hope this show helps you too. And that one day you could be that person figuratively nodding along when someone else new comes, because this show has brought me relief. Or maybe you find something else. So you're important, and that's important to point out, and you deserve a good night's sleep. You deserve a bedtime where you could get the rest you need without any rigmarole, the rest you need so your life is more manageable. You deserve that, and it's something we all wish for you. And maybe you develop a bedtime routine and listen to this podcast or something else, and you start getting a little bit more sleep on a regular basis. That's really important. Now, what I'll do here is I'll send my voice across the deep, dark night. I'll use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones, pointless meanders, and superfluous tangents, which means I'll go off topic, I'll get mixed up, I'll forget what I was talking about, then I'll say, what was I talking about? And, I'll get confused and all that. So that's like pointless meanders and superfluous tangents. I already did a few. Creaky dulcet tones means my voice is not traditionally soothing, but it's kind of like a friend, your call. This is a show. It does take a few tries to get used to, as I said earlier. That's just because if you're like me, you're probably skeptical or doubtful. Maybe you heard about this podcast. Maybe you were searching for something and you're like, is this thing really going to help me? I'm not so sure. So I hope it does. This is a podcast that you just kind of barely listen to, almost like background noise or a TV on in the other room or some soothing sound at a distance. It's just out of focus, but you can listen to it. And this is also, even though it's the podcast that puts you to sleep, I don't put you to sleep directly. There's no pressure to fall asleep with this show. The reason the episodes are over an hour is I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. There's people who listen who can't sleep at all, and I'm here to keep them company to the very end and just take their mind off of stuff. So I really hope the show can help. I'm here to be your boyfriend, your boy-bae, your boy-sib, your boy-bud, your neighbor, your boy-bee, your boys, your boy-bruh, your boyfriend, your friend in the deep dark night to keep you company. So I hope I can do that for you. What else do you need to know? Boyfriend, no pressure to fall asleep, no pressure to listen. If you need a break during the day, you could listen to the show. The structure of the show also throws people off. And the show's structured in a specific way, but you can adjust how you listen. So the show starts off with a greeting, friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So you feel seen and welcomed in, and you say, okay, I might be able to check that podcast out. He did say a bunch of silly stuff. He tried to make one point. Then he got distracted. Then he went on a tangent of like some sort of qualifications or whatever. Levels of being, the new Eeyore story, levels of being Plush. By the way, I'm not a plush. I'm probably made from, I would just say, are you made from burlap? This isn't meant to hurt you or anything. I'm just imagining. I know you're purplish gray, and that's fine. I think burlap would be the perfect thing for you, Eeyore. But maybe you're made from something. Let's see. I got no strings to hold me down. No, that was somebody else, Eeyore. I'm sorry. I don't think Eeyore wanted to know about being burlap or not. That was a little bit too sorry, Eeyore. I'm going to try to change the subject, but I'm not really good at changing the subject when I'm imagining your autobiography. But we'll talk. The episode will somehow be barely tangibly related to this. I was going to talk about the structure of the show. So that's a greeting. You say, okay, I could check that podcast out. Then there's sponsor support. So the podcast is free. Paying for it's optional. If you decide you want a version without sponsors, you could pay on Sleep With Me Plus or Apple Podcasts, or you could join our referral program, refer people to the show, and get ad-free episodes for free just by, doing a little, spreading of the word. But for most people, they like listening to this ad-supported version linearly. And I've heard from them, and it gives me an honor to be able to do this. But the support is only one part. Then after the support is what we're doing now, which is a long, meandering intro, which is separate from the support. It's a show within a show meant to ease you into bedtime. That's why it lasts about 20 minutes. It's meant to ease you into bedtime and help you slowly wind down. And explain what the podcast is, go off topic, and take a bunch of time to do it so that you can listen as you're getting ready for bed, you're doing a chill activity, you're in bed getting comfortable, you're petting your pets. I love pandering to pets by telling everybody to pet their pets. It's just a friendly reminder that pets rule the world. Don't forget who mentioned you multiple times on my sleep podcast. And don't worry, I mean, when I say petting your pets, I mean, even the pets that aren't pettable should be getting some sort of equivalent thing. Make sure that rock warmer's turned on. Look at the fish tank and, smile at your fishes, come on already. What have we been doing? Blow your fish a kiss right now. If you have fishes or anything on the other side of the room that you're not able to pet, one, consult your experts to see if there's another equivalent activity you could be doing for petting them, but blow them a kiss, right? And blow them a kiss, not just out of love, but so that they love me, because I just want to have my bases covered. And I love if I have to pander, I'll pander to pets. So pet your pets. That message is brought to you by me. Don't forget, petting your pets is a reward that's always giving. What was I saying, though? So the intro. There's 2% of people that probably fall asleep during the intro, 2% of people that skip the intro, start the show 20, 25, 30 minutes. But most people are winding down. That's what's been shown to work, and what's worked for me personally and a lot of listeners is having a small wind down routine around 30 minutes long to ease into bedtime. So that's the intro. And it's where ideas come from and where where ideas come to go nowhere. And then after the intro is support again, so the show could be, you can just listen whenever you want, wherever you want. There's 601 episodes available. And then after the support is our bedtime story. I thought I was recording this intro about, and this is the magic of the intro, but sometimes story ideas come up in the intro and I say, okay, well, I'm going to have to change it up. I thought this intro was going to be for an episode of, I won't even say it, but probably an episode that already came out. Now I'm like, no, we got to think about this. So, I mean, as far as my tracking goes, we have a couple ideas I'm curious about. Okay, and maybe in this realm of Winnie the Pooh or whoever, I think that one became public domain. So, I mean, I'm safe talking about it either way, but it's like, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure, is that the one with Christopher Robin? Maybe that's the other one. But anyway, like, there's stuffed animals that maybe, I know I'm usually incorrect with this stuff anyway. And then when Christopher Robin's not around or other times, it's like Toy Story a bit, like they become sentient. Okay, so we could use Toy Story as a model at least. Though Toy Story's toys, so it can't be our complete model. Okay, so the toys have consciousness, or what we understand to be. You know, I've never been a plush, the sentient plush. Well, so I'm not entirely sure I know what sentient means, but they have a personality. They have some sort of awareness. There's got to be philosophy. What are those called? Philosophical books, philosophy, right? Okay, but the points I was making is, so they gain some sort of whatever consciousness. I don't know what else to say. They have bodily movement and all that stuff, anthropomorphized, whatever you want to use. But I think the important part is they're independent, right? Or they're trying to live an independent existence. Well, you say, well, some, not totally, because they're kind of codependent. I mean, not in a negative way, but on Toy Story with Andy. And then, I don't know, with this other book, I have no idea. Maybe Christopher Robin. And their sentience is tied to that. Maybe their purpose. I think that's what at least those movies were about. But the other thing is, like, if you're trying, like, just taking away the story points or the deeper points, it's like, if I'm trying to be a toy or a plush, a stuffed animal, we'll say, and I'm trying to live independently, you know, that's going to change some of my choices because I got stuff to do now. You know, I'm not just a stuffed animal anymore. I got stuff I got to do, including, you know, the regular stuff that those humans were always complaining about. I had no idea how good I had it. But I enjoy being, obviously there's a lot to be grateful for. Don't take this as all or nothing statement, but, I've had to change the way I do stuff because obviously, and you say, because people said, what happened with you and Pooh? And I said, well, I can only say, well, please, no honey or sticky stuff like at all. And I had to just change, that's all I could say. It wasn't easy. But, you know what's not easy? Being covered in honey without an industrial, you think I'm going to get an industrial washing machine? What do you, they say spot clean it. And I say, it's caked in honey now with dirt because I've been walking around. I got a job I got to go to. I don't know how we got there, but so that's what I'm curious about. I mean, I don't think it'll be like that because that was like, you see, wow, I caught you on a bad day. What is this? You were with an edge? You see, better believe it. Say, man, holy cow. By the way, I left a pool of honey on the ground by accident because as soon as you said don't bring any honey to our interview, then it got in my brain. That's all I could think about. I'm not normally big into honey. Sorry, okay, at least that interview's over. So yeah, that's the show, I think. Story portion, then there's thank yous at the end. So I went through everything. That's why I make the show, structure the show. I'm really glad you're here. Give the show a few tries. You got really nothing to lose. I really hope this podcast can help you out. I work really hard. So do a team of people because we all yearn and strive. We really want to help you fall asleep. Thanks again for coming by. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you for free twice a week. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. Support for Sleep With Me comes from Odoo. What is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a lot of things. Odoo is award-winning management software. Odoo is total control of your entire company in one place. Odoo is a suite of fully integrated applications for CRM, accounting, sales, HR, inventory, manufacturing, and everything in between. Basically, Odoo is what your business needs to succeed. So if you're ready to get more done in less time, visit odoo.com/withme. That's odoo.com/withme. Odoo, business management made simple. All right, everybody, this is Scoots here. This is an episode, I don't know, it's about Plush friends. I don't know, it was like these episodes that's coming out of an intro, which I know is thinking about different, things that, of all of the things I know few things about, Winnie the Pooh's one of them. And it's strange, I think it's Winnie the Pooh that I have an archetypal memory of the movie. I think there was a Winnie the Pooh movie, because I think the Huffalumps are like what Winnie the Pooh dreams of when too much honey's consumed. And I'm pretty sure I saw those in a motel, that movie in a motel room, and the images of the Huffalumps did not sit well with me as a child. I just have a memory of that, but it could have been Dumbo or where's the one with the kids, Pinocchio too. One of those ones with a weird dream sequence, you know? So this is probably why I don't know that much about Winnie the Pooh, even though I know the Winnie the Pooh song. So I probably know more about Winnie the Pooh. It's just been put away, filed away for podcasts 4 or 5 years down the road when suddenly a torrent of Winnie the Pooh memories is unleashed. But I was thinking, and this isn't meant to like a knock on Winnie the Pooh, but if you were made of plush, you wouldn't want to be around no offense, but I don't know if I would want to be friends with someone who is eats a lot of honey, or any sap, like anybody. I don't want to come in contact with any sap either. I mean, because, made of plush, and that would probably go for oils. What other things would I try to avoid? I mean, probably a lot of stuff, but sap or honey particularly wouldn't be great. And, I always think about Pillow Pet, my daughter's Pillow Pet, which is a flat plush. Hers was a cow. I can't even remember. Sorry, Pillow Pet. But I don't know if we've done 2 episodes with Pillow Pet, but Pillow Pet kind of is our resident plush, who is out there, somewhere out there in the world adventuring. It's funny because, here's the thing. If you, recently, about 6 months ago, we were staying at a hotel, and I had this really nice thing. Because sometimes I buy sleep products on my own because I see them advertised or they're getting all this hype. And I say, well, I should buy that and test it out because the listeners are going to probably ask me about it. Or, all the sleep experts are talking about it. Let me try it. Most of the time, the companies won't sponsor the podcast. I have no idea why that all these sleep products are out there. And, a lot of them just want a partnership, which means... Scoots, you could talk about our product for free, or it's just funny. But this company never did that. But I did buy their product, and it's like It's similar to a sleeping bag liner, like one of those sleeping bags that really snugs you in. And I bought it because I said, well, this is interesting. And I tried it for a while myself, but I discovered for me a weighted comforter works a lot better. And I think this thing's called a pod, something pod, but it's very much like a thin sleeping bag, but like it's very comforting. It does hug you. Or maybe that's what it's called, a hug. But anyway, my point is now not anymore because it's too I would bring this product with us when we traveled, because here's the thing. I would always, like, if I'm really being like the best parent I can be and we're staying at a hotel, I'll bring that I would have brought that and a blanket for my daughter, because I don't know what it is with hotels. Like, they don't really have a lot of blankets. Usually maybe there's one extra blanket in the room, but I like to sleep at I follow hygiene, but it's just also personal. I like to have the room very cool. But so I'll provide my daughter with those two things. But she left that thing, even though it's gray, it got left in the hotel bed. And when they cleared out the bed, this got lost with it, and they were never able to recover it. Even though they found a blanket in my room. They said, oh, we found it. And I said, no, that's a blanket. I showed you a picture of this thing, but it wasn't recoverable. And that's kind of what happened at Pillow Pet too, which is just weird. To me, let's just say I was not pleased, because, for the second time, for the first time, I haven't happened at Disney World. So I'm like, oh, they probably have a central processing place. I guess I still don't understand how they didn't find it. But, and the same for this one. I said, well, maybe the hotel sends their laundry out, but still. So anyway, these things happen. Lesson not learned, but hopefully be learned in the future. Don't leave things in your hotel bed, personal items in your hotel bed. It's that simple. They're going to strip everything, even if they're not doing it every day. I don't know what happens. Okay. But Pillow Pet, and I guess Pillow Pet has not met up with this blanket, but, or whatever, a sleep device. But I was thinking, like, of Pillow Pet and all the Plush out there. A lot of Plush probably listen to the podcast, inadvertently. You don't have a choice. I guess I haven't pandered to all of you. And I do like to pander. Holy cow, my people pleaser. So I should be a Plush pleaser too. And so, I don't know. Maybe I'll just take the time. Because I was like, okay, I'm assuming, but I think it's a pretty strong assumption that if you're a Plush, you'd prefer not a sterile environment, but a relatively clean environment. Maybe once in a while you have to get washed. I don't know. I think your probably opinions are varied on that. So, but maybe you all have your own opinions on being washed. And sure, there's spot wash. That might be nice. So I don't know. I was thinking like we could just run through some stuff about Plush and on our Pillow Pet. We could pretend Pillow Pet is here. Like if Pillow Pet, if you can hear me, I'm going to try to embody your answers for all the Plush listening out there. Because you're here's the thing. I'm not pandering when I say this. Plush or stuffed animals or teddy bears or Plush. I don't know what else. Stuffies, bedtime buds. You are an important part of people's lives. My daughter's in high school. She got a new Plush over the holidays, and from a famous one from the movies, who's dressed as their Plush, and who's one of the many people that likes bananas, she was bringing that to school for a little while. So other than sap or honey or oils, what other things should we know as people to keep away from you? Like if I'm just asking and I'm putting myself out, okay, hard candy, Especially, okay, this is good. So hard candy, obviously that makes sense, especially if it's been in your mouth. Okay, that makes sense a lot. Noted. And obviously don't sleep with gum in your mouth because it doesn't get in your hair. It could get on your, here's the strangest thing, plush friends. I'm trying to walk through my childhood memories of going to bed chewing gum and wondering what I was thinking anyway, right? Because that does happen to kids. I mean, it's a pretty universal experience. And yeah, thinking about you, Plush, it would be even worse for all of you because, so let's walk through this. Number one thing that I'm talking about right now, you shouldn't go to bed. Protect your plushes from gum and hard candy. Obviously hard candy a little bit less so. But what was it? Is it just kids are kids born after like 1999 smarter than, do they go to bed with gum in their mouth? Pretty sure it's happened to my daughter, but I don't mean not, like I can't remember a specific memory of it. Maybe I can, but it's so archetypal. But some of you might be laughing, so I do have to go through this. So at some point in my life and a lot of people's lives, and I can only imagine that here's like, okay, let's run through, let's get a little personal essay on here. Okay, so there's two gum memories I have. So I'm thinking that what happened is, for me, that there was some sort of rebellious freedom of thrill and independence aligned with this gum, and maybe a little bit of illicit thrill of rebellion. So I never, my relationships with Plush, holy cow, I'm probably breaking some Plush's heart out there. I had a couple Plushes that I remember, but I'd have to, I don't know, I tend to have moved on from the little Andy's days. But so this would have been after I had a Plush. By the way, my Plushes were a teddy bear, Teddy, I think, and Raggedy Andy, of course, because my name was Andy. And those are the two Plushes I know of. Also, I think I've talked about this, and I actually have this one. Was this from Mr. Rogers or another show? I probably talked about this, though. These weren't Plushes, but one year, my sister, my brother, and I were gifted. We got matching gifts, which were on, I think it was on Mr. Rogers. So Mr. Rogers, they'd go to the World of Pretend or the Land Far, like the trolley would go there, and it would be a world with hand puppets. And the hand puppets I remember were, I don't really remember. There was a king, and then there was probably, I would assume, like a court. Then there was like some sort of bird. My sister had the bird or something like a bird. Maybe there was a spellcaster. So I don't know, but I had the king of loving land stuff, the king of far, far away. I guess we'll have to look this up after, but let's talk about the gum first, and then we'll see if I can remember anything, trying to think. I'd like to know, so we each got one of those puppets, and the puppet was interesting. It had a plastic head, so the only thing you could do is say yes or no and move the hands, but then the body was kind of like a stuffed sack, and then it had little arms you could move that were just like loose material you could put your fingers in. So you put one finger in their head and then your thumb and your middle finger in their arms. So let me put this in here. Mr. Rogers neighborhood. Okay, so we'll look that up later. But so there's two major gum, and this is this is also interesting because I just had a gum that tasted like one of these. Oh no, it didn't. I'm sorry. I don't know if this gum still exists. It shouldn't. As much as I have a positive love of this one kind of gum, the other kind does exist in different forms. And I would assume this is when I had my paper route, because that's when I had some financial freedom to buy stuff like this. So I'm guessing that both these sets of gum did end up in my hair, and I purchased it with money for my paper route. Because other than that, maybe it was some sort of like life event that I got money for. Though when I had my paper route, I should have known better than to go to bed chewing gum. So it could have been some other time I had extra money. But so there's two kinds of gum that I would have purchased and been thrilled, because one, both of them came in copious amounts. And one is a kind of intergenerational gum, which is, there's two kinds. One is called Zucker Joe's gum, I'm going to say, or Double Bubble. Those were the competing brands. And you could buy it in a box. It came in a box when I was like, holy cow, I feel now, I've never said this, but I feel old saying this. But this was like a gum that you would chew, and you'd be like, my grandparents chewed this gum. And then you'd move on, because the gum came with like it came wrapped up, and it would come with a comic inside the gum. And these are I think only Zucker Joe's came with that. I don't know if Double Bubble came with, oh no, Double Bubble's something different anyway. There was also Hubba Bubba. There was there's a lot of gums that were made to look like different tobacco products, which is interesting. Starter gums, we call those. But so I don't know, Double Bubble, was that the other one? But anyway, Zucker Joe's, would come. It was a flat piece of gum. It was a rectangle. It was pink, but when you opened it, first there was a wrapper, then there was a comic. The gum would usually have some powder on it. I don't know if it to keep it from, keep it dry. Keep your gum dry, man. And like, especially if you have stuffed animals. And then it would have the comic, and then you would chew the gum. And it was bubble gum. Maybe it was Double Bubble. Did I say that already? I can't remember, but this one was Zucker Joe's, I'm pretty sure. And you would read the comic. The comics were from another generation, so I wouldn't read them very closely. Sometimes there'd be a joke on there or something, but it was very tactile and cool to have. And the gum was like, it definitely was not great for like someone that had a lot of fillings like I did. It was hard to start. It had like a typical gum flavor. It wasn't good, it was more good than not great tasting, but it wasn't like the kind of gum you were like, oh boy, is this delicious. And then if you bought that, then you may have the instinct, like I did, to put like, you want to be like a kid chewing gum on TV. So you might put like 2 things of gum in your mouth. And so I could see that gum that I bought a box of gum. Then I put 2 things of gum. Like my parents were like, chewing gum, after 6. But as soon as my parents turned their backs, I got in bed with a mouthful of gum. Which how do people not? How does even a kid not see that? Or I guess if I was a parent, I'd say, how does gum end up your hair twice? I can see once. But even so, especially for a kid like me that was always on the lookout for what was going to happen, how was I not aware that, dude, if you're chewing gum when you're falling asleep, you're going to fall asleep with gum in your mouth, which is no good possible outcome. Maybe you wake up with it on your cheek, which I can feel. So, okay, could have been Zucker Joe's gum. And that would have been, I would have probably had 2 pieces in my mouth and fallen asleep chewing it after I brushed my teeth, of course. Or maybe I said, I don't need to brush my teeth. This gum will do it. So that was one kind of gum. The other kind of gum, and let's look this one up now. Well, we have Mr. Rogers open, but let's open up another tab here. So this kind of gum was called fruit stripe gum. And what I remember about it was also, no offense to any gum companies, but Juicy Fruit is another gum I'll put in this category. Incredibly flavorful for moments. Fruit stripe gum was the most delicious gum like for about 2 minutes of your life. You say, this is going to be the best 2 minutes of chewing gum. I mean, you never said that because you just say, I can't believe the flavor's gone. Now I need another one. And it came in a gigantic pack. Like I'm talking, most gum comes like 6 sticks to a pack. I don't know. This one would come with like whatever, 36 pieces of gum or something. And they were fruit stripes. So it was like, normally like adult-based gums were pretty plain colored. But this one had stripes, different color stripes. I don't know if it had different flavors of fruit. I just know it was really good tasting for a short period of time. Holy cow, news it just ended in 2024. And it had, they say it has zebra stripes. So actually it had like the peppermint stripes, but in different colors. So wide stripe and thin stripes. And it also had, wait a second, you can make temporary tattoos out of the wrappers? I never heard about that. So I'll read the Wikipedia article, but it had a zebra like as its like mascot. I don't know if I'm assuming it had television commercials, but like let's go. It's from Beech Nut, 1960 to 2024, and the history according to Wikipedia it was a 5-flavor gum from Beech Nut, James Parker. And changed a lot of different things. Then they had fruit stripe gummy candy in 2022. But yeah, 2024, wow, just this year, right not long before I recorded it, they said they're going to stop producing it. And this says there was 2 flavors, 2 types of ones produced. A chewing gum, that must have been after my time in a bubble gum, which was cherry, grape, mixed fruit, lemon, and cotton candy. Now, I don't think this is a character known as the Fruit Stripe Gum Man was used to promote the product, an anthropomorphized gum pack with limbs and face. Then the striped fruity animals, zebra, tiger, elephant, and mouse. Coloring book, plush toys. Then a zebra named Yipes was the sole mascot. So that must have been Yipes Stripes advertising slogan. And then they even had temporary tattoos. Yipes was shown prominently on fruit stripe gum packaging. In 1996, they gave money to World Wildlife Fund for each pack. References, fruit stripe gum discontinued. Fruit stripe website, fruit stripe man, fruit stripe food characters. Okay, this is on Retroland. Sometimes they have good stuff here. Okay, so we're going to Retroland if it loads for us. Fruit stripe. Yes, certain scents, they say, stick to your memory banks. Fruit stripe gum, one whiff, and you'll remember it. Fluorescent stripes, colorful zebras, intense fruit flavor. But they were some wonderfully tasty minutes. Started in the 60s, and fruity flavors that seem more natural than artificial. But the flavor only lasts a little while. And then, you just have another stick of gum. You could go through a whole pack in 20 minutes. They had a picture. Okay, so this is the same generation as me. The zebra Yipes, who was introduced in the 60s. This was the 90s, probably that I was eating it, or the late 80s. And Yipes was still the sole mascot, temporary tattoos. So, yeah, that's about all on Fruit Stripe. What's that other one? Zucker Joe's. Let's see what that one says. Okay, Zucker Joe's is a comic strip character from, okay, we'll go to the gum. No. Okay, Zuka chewing gum. So it's just called Zuka chewing gum. 1947, that's when that one came out. It was purchased in 2023 too. It started, it was sold by Topps Trading Company, and it was wrapped in red, white, and blue. Oh, yeah, so color scheme. Originally sold for a penny in the 50s. It came with a small comic strip. There are over 1,535 different comic strip wrappers. And there was also offer for a premium. Older were different in size. And they had the original Tops flavor. Then then they had, all flavors probably, I guess, after my time. It's sold across the world and translated. What else we got? Like in 2012, they stopped selling comics and put brain teasers in there. And in Argentina, I mean, this is Wikipedia, but they say it's called Yo Amo Zucker. I love the Zucker. So, and then there is a picture of I guess it wasn't a box, it was a brick of candy, maybe? I don't know, a brick of gum? Maybe that makes sense. Okay, so that's a Zucker Joe's. So either one of those would have been what I had in my mouth, like when I fell asleep. And I guess the fruit stripe makes a lot of sense how that could get caught in my hair. So that makes sense that the Plush would want us not to go to bed with those, with those in our mouth, right? Okay, let's head over here to Wikipedia's article on Fred Rogers and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Format. Let's see. Oh, characters. Maybe that'll help us. Characters. Okay, here's other characters. I've talked about Mr. Rogers before. Neighbor Aber. Lady Aberlin. Okay, she was the niece. Okay, I remember her. I think my sister must have had Lady Aberlin. She had a real world counterpart, Betty. Okay. Scientist Adler. Who's a scientist. He was in the real world expert and in the neighborhood of make-believe in earlier stories. Charles, a magician and friend. Natalie. Marilyn. Chef. So there's a chef. Maybe one of my siblings had the chef. He was, Edgar Cook. His neighborhood... Oh, he owns Brockett's Bakery. His neighborhood of make-believe counterpart assists Edgar Cook in the kitchen. Okay, Bob Brown was in Puppeteer and Marionette Maker. Judy's Bob's wife. Michael, the son. Tony, proprietor of Tony's shop. Jose works at Brockett's Bakery. Clemens, Dr. David, Keith. Keith the Carpenter. He also gets some money from Donkey Kong arcade game. Emily the Poetry Lady. Joey, the tap dancer. Pilot Ito. Opera singer and royal pilot of King Friday the 13th. Susan. Trying to find the other characters from the neighborhood of make-believe or whatever. Miss Royal Telephone Operator. Okay, so far we just have two people from the... Okay, here we go. Neighborhood of Make-Believe is a fictional kingdom visited by Mr. Rogers during the show. Characters in the neighborhood of Make-Believe are portrayed by both hand puppets and actors. Fred Rogers was a puppeteer of a great number of characters. Colette, Cornflake, Daniel, Donkey, Edgar, Grand Pierre, Henrietta, Eno, King Friday the 13th. So I have King Friday the 13th. Lady Elaine. Okay, Lady Elaine. So Lady Elaine, my sister had, and then my brother had X the Owl, who was like, there was also Tadpole, Queen Sarah, Princess Margaret, Mrs. Frog. Okay, so that makes sense. There was also 13 in-series operas that took place during the make-believe segments. Wow. Babysitter Opera, Campsite, Teddy Bear, Ship, Pineapples and Tomatoes, Monkey's Uncle, Snow People, Potatoes, All in the Laundry. That sounds familiar. Key to the Other Land, Windstorm and Bubble Land, Spoon Mountain, A Granddad for Daniel, and A Star for Kitty. So that's interesting. All right, well, so I think that kind of covers why I shouldn't go to bed with why Plush don't like hard candy or gum. Because the typical, okay, to stay with this archetypal memory, just in case, I mean, honestly, I don't know. Like if you're under like 40, have you had gum in your hair? I don't know, maybe, I don't know. But what would happen is usually the strategy if you were a kid and woke up was to try to get it out of your hair or to cry. I mean, these are my strategies. No, I don't think I would cry. Maybe if I was younger, I would just try. Then I probably did cut my own hair and, yeah, I don't know, like, cut my own hair because, I don't know, like to cover it up. I guess it's a cover up, but it doesn't work because, but then if an adult was intervened, there was two solutions. I don't know if either one worked, which was either mayonnaise or peanut butter. And I don't know. I mean, this is before the internet. So, but it's like, I don't know if either one of those, like, actually works. I know I've talked about this on the podcast before because you can remember getting emails about it. But I guess I'm like, to put myself in the shoes of a Plush, here's the thing. First of all, mayonnaise should never touch a Plush. I mean, I don't even need to pander. And I mean, mayonnaise is one of those those things that's not divisive, but like I can only speak for myself. I never had mayonnaise till I was 21 years old. Or 20 years old. I'm pretty sure I was 21 years old the first time I had mayonnaise, and it was Dijonnaise. It wasn't even mayonnaise. Before that, I'd lived my life being like, I'm not a person that eats mayonnaise. I have no interest in it, and I won't ever have mayonnaise. It's just not my thing. That was my philosophy on mayonnaise. And it may have been something like I read in like a children's story or something. And I still know people that were in that no mayonnaise group that are still no mayonnaise people. I am not and that, like what happened for me, but let's just say I think we can all agree that if a Plush could live its whole life without coming in contact with mayonnaise, that Plush life would probably not be, wouldn't be a bad thing. Now, if a Plush, becomes real, that's different. If it's going to start eating sandwiches and it has taste buds and a digestive tract and an ability, it becomes real so they can clean up easier. But I just think there's a cost to mayonnaise touching a Plush because somewhere hidden deep inside that Plush will always be a hint of mayonnaise. There's another chapter for my autobiography, a hint of mayonnaise. I mean, I think this is something, maybe somebody should run it like, let's say like, the no mayonnaise for Plush. I mean, I guess somebody take it too far, but it's like, I think that's something we could agree on. But like, so the two strategy, and I'd say peanut butter, ideally peanut butter wouldn't come in contact with the Plush. I think because of children and peanut butter, ubiquitous in peanut butter on your fingers, there is a better chance that, as a Plush, you may have to live your life accepting the fact that occasionally you'll come in contact with peanut butter, but that doesn't mean like that. Okay, so two things. I can hear people that are listening asking, please talk about your first your consumption of mayonnaise, because, oh, boy, I could sleep right through that. I can't, like, I can't, I don't think I could not, So, and what is this mayonnaise gum theory? Okay, so the generational knowledge, and again, you say, Scoots, what happened with your generation? Like, we thought, the world was going to be, there was all those songs. Well, one, that was a song about soda. The world will be a better place. I'd like to, but two, the generational knowledge that was passed on to us, this was considered essential adult knowledge that either mayonnaise or okay, let me just speak for myself because I'm probably wrong. But it was my understanding that through my family's history, the wise ones passed down a few things. And one was that if your child gets gum in their hair, you should either use mayonnaise or peanut butter to get it out. I mean, I'm thinking as an adult, I don't have any concept that it would work with you. Like either one, like just the idea of putting mayonnaise in my daughter's hair for anything just seems like it's like if I was her, I'd be like, I don't think I still smell like mayonnaise now, Dad. And then peanut butter, I don't know. I just don't like, it takes on when it's, I don't know. It just doesn't belong on the human head either. I mean, it's slightly less, I don't know if this is the right use of this word, odious, but it's like, I mean, there's something slightly less repulsive about the idea of using peanut butter. But I think about all my experience with peanut butter, which is pretty huge. I mean, I'm a regular consumer of whole wheat bread with peanut butter and jelly or some other nut butter. I don't like it. Like, I don't like, is there any other like, was this like like Don Draper and orange juice where somebody's like, you know what, we can move more peanut butter. Like when Beech Nut Enterprises bought a peanut butter company, they're like, this is a perfect marriage. This is a whole new vertical for us. Because, like, is there any other things that people say? Oh, yeah, no, you just rub the peanut butter between your teeth. Oh, yeah, totally changes everything. Have you tried rubbing some peanut butter on? No, like, no one says that. I mean, first of all, because people have nut allergies, but also just because it's like peanut butter. No, here's what peanut butter is good for. Peanut butter, you know, stuff that has peanut butter in it. 2, right, like if you need to check your dog's tongue for something, and that's not a joke. Like sometimes I had to check Koa's tongue, and I just give her some peanut butter, and then it's easy. Or, you know, whatever, like peanut butter. Like other than that, I don't know. Was it like, is there something I'm missing? Like, say, oh yeah, you know what? You know how to get a stain out of marble peanut butter? Just rub some peanut butter on it. So I guess speaking for the Plush, I don't know. I mean, definitely trying to never have kids. If you're listening, this is one thing I could say. Usually I say, don't do this. Do this. Like, don't ever let your Plush touch mayonnaise or peanut butter because, I don't know. They're just, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if like, those will actually get gum out of your hair either. I mean, I guess I could run an experiment somehow, but I'm sure the internet has the answers that, you know. Okay, so what about me and mayonnaise? I know all the Plushes out there are like, I thought this episode was going to be about us. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just too, so my history with mayonnaise, and also this goes for tomatoes and tomato soup. Trying to think of any other foods I swore off. I mean, there's been things I've sworn off permanently. Orange creamsicles. I talked about that in the Sylvan Beach episode. And I never will go back. I mean, maybe if someone said, here's $50 to taste an orange creamsicle, I would do that. It would cost more than $50, by the way, because I know there's enough people that don't like me that actually are fans of the show that would do that. But, so I don't know why I swore off tomato soup and tomatoes, but that was another one that I swore off. And I'm not like a big consumer of tomato soup anyway, so that one's not as big a deal. But so the mayonnaise thing, this one is a pretty like, I had to learn my lesson. And it was like, actually one of the few times I listened to other people in my life. We went on a trip, I was 21, and all my friends were about that age. And we went on a trip. We had like my friend, her parents had a condo, her grandparents in Florida. So we all went down there, and none of us had any money. So we like literally consisted on turkey sandwiches. I mean, that was our, like, literally, like, that was all I think I consumed, except for maybe once in a while I had hamburgers or hot dogs or something. But, like, I was on a pretty much, like, a 70% turkey sandwich diet for however many days we were there, which felt like a week or something. Maybe it wasn't that long. But someone said to me, like, you're not going to make, like, 'cause it wasn't like, it was like the kind of dry turkey breast, right? And they were like, but if you put Dijonnaise on your bread, dude, like, it won't be so dry. And for the first time in my life, I said, okay, I'm willing to try this. I do know I like Dijon, whatever that stuff's called, mustard. So I'll try this. Now, Dijonnaise was an invention, branded invention, which was just mayonnaise and Dijon mustard mixed together, which now they have like Chipotle mayo and stuff like that. And so that was like just another thing that was out there. But yeah, so that's what got me to try that, and it worked. And then after that I said, oh, I guess I guess mayonnaise is for me. So I guess that's it about, like, so I guess I could add those peanut butter and mayonnaise, or two other things you should keep out of contact: hard candy, gum. Obviously, you don't want to try to clean a Plush friend with peanut butter. I mean, that's another one. It's just going to seep into their pores. What other things, what else should we avoid? Okay, like anything sweet or sticky. Okay, so sodas. Here's one, cotton candy, right? Here's something that I'm sure people would think would be ubiquitous is not the right word. Why did that pop in my head? But I could see myself doing this, so I'll just apologize because I haven't done this. But if I had, I never had unrestricted access to cotton candy. Except for at a birthday party, like about a year ago, or maybe a year and a half ago, someone had cotton candy at their child's birthday party, a cotton candy machine. And I think I made one or two batches of it, but I didn't make a spectacle myself. But I could see that, I could see that happening where if you had like a lot of cotton candy, or you had some downtime with cotton candy, giving your Plush a cotton candy, hairstyle. And maybe we can do it. No, I guess we don't need candy-friendly Plush, but the thing is when you've seen cotton candy sweat, like anytime cotton candy gets any kind of moisture or a high humidity, or you touch your tongue to cotton candy, something happens chemically, and that's not going to be good for Plush. Plus, there's dyes in there. Plush is like, if I want to change my look, I'll change my look. But, I don't need any like cotton candy blues or pinks unless I want them. Though I would say, on the other side, like most Plushes would look cute with a temporary cotton candy hairstyle. But I could say from a Plush's perspective, this is like, what if we could, it's too bad I didn't think of this like an hour ago, teaching empathy and compassion through Plush, like say, well, I've always struggled with those things. Well, put yourself in the Plush's shoes. Would you want someone like putting cotton candy in your hair? And I said, well, who's the person? Hold on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, I can't imagine that would feel good, after, a little while. Plus, like, yeah, would it like crystallize? That'd be like, what do you use to get cotton candy? What do you use to get crystallized cotton candy out of your hair? Almond butter? Out of like, coconut oil? Coconut oil wouldn't be actually that bad comparatively to any of this other stuff. So, okay. Okay, so we got that down. Cotton candy, most sweets, ice cream, anything else we should know about Plush now that I've used up your whole episode talking about a couple of things, which is like what makes it so sweet. Pillow Pet out there. But the thing was that Pillow Pet, that's how Pillow Pet did use a reusable soda mug. Sand? What do Plushes feel about sand? Okay, that's another one. as much as we'd like to go to the beach with you, please don't, because, well, yeah, plus you like to stay dry for the most part, right? Of course. And sand can be wet, even if it doesn't seem like it's wet. It's sandy. I mean, sand could, like, get into your pore, whatever. I don't know. Do you call them pores? Do plushes have pores? Or you're porous? You're somewhat porous, right? Okay, so that makes sense. I could see wet grass. Okay, there's another one. I'm glad we're getting to some stuff that you really don't care for. Wet grass dew. Okay. What about how you feel about moss? Okay, so. Yeah, I mean, moss to me, moss is, I think, something everybody should experience, even Plush, once in their life. Your cheek on the moss. That was part of my poetry that your cheek on the moss. Something la loss, blah, 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 blush. Yeah, your cheek on the moss. Yeah, I could see that. Because, moss, I would say, if it's like, as long as it's how about this, moss after 11 a.m., but before 4. That's when in the lowest moisture, I think. With definitely a week after the most recent precipitation. I think that's a safe area for you to have a moss experience. Okay, moss. We covered pine. Any other major things we should know about that you really dislike? Because here's the thing, we never hear about things that Plush dislike. Other than like, yeah, you hold, I get it. I know most kids hold on to one of your arms and you could be more balanced. Puddles, clearly. Usually, how about this? Like getting dropped in spilled milk. Talk about making crying over spilled milk more cryable. And I think my Plush, that's a rough one. You're right. That, I would say, necessitates a washing. Any dairy-based products or dairy alternatives. Keep them away from Plush. Yeah, okay. How many industries, are there any Plush-friendly industries? Dry things, couches, beds. That's usually where you're supposed to hang anyway, right? Any other things like I should know about where... how do you feel about like, here's something, this is honest truth, just thought of this, but I was thinking, a lot of you travel like Pillow Pet. Now, Pillow Pet did not have a place for this, but what about some sort of necklace where we could keep like a tag, a location-aware device? I keep those in my luggage, right? And actually, I bought like 2 decent coats because in the Bay Area, it's always kind of spring, like having a spring fall coat or I guess those are jackets. Like I put an air tag in each of those because that's what I usually lose. And anytime I pay more than, $40 or $50, it wasn't like $100, maybe it was. So like I said, I don't want to lose this coat. So I put a location tag in there. Like I think getting your Plush location tag, it's probably something some parents do anyway. But that's an idea, right? Of how would you could get it stitched inside you, which is probably the best idea. But then you need a parent, not like me, that's good at restitching you. But you could just have a zipper and then we could put it in there. That's a nice idea, right? And, I think that solves everything. And then maybe we could get, as those things advance, it'd have a moisture sensor, like a mayo proximity alert. You say mayonnaise, dairy in vicinity, or, even like you say, okay, that's like, so that would be pretty good. Like it could send an alert to the parent's phone. Hey, your child's Plush is too close to the mayo. By the way, that buffet table needs to be 15 feet. This Plush needs to be 15 feet away. Like that's open mayo right there. Like you can't have a Plush near yogurt. Holy cow. It did say dairy-based things, but you're right. Yogurt with like, How come mayo seems worse than yogurt, though? Is it just me, or I'd say, like, even though yogurt has its own tang, I don't know. Oh, juices. Yeah, I think we could agree on that. The only thing is, it seems like a juice dries out better. I mean, I realize, like, not perfectly. So, yeah, this is great info we got from the Plush of the world, and where I mostly talked about myself. Talked about gum and some other things. So I'm glad you're all here. And I hope all those plushes out there and all the people around them are sleeping well and snuggled in. And you're sending love to one another. Good night. Hey, this is Scoots. I wanted to thank a couple of people that signed up for the referral program recently, particularly one person. I want to thank Anna, who just signed up, Michael, who just signed up, Victor, who signed up recently. And Victor's kind of really well-versed in social media, and Victor already has 65 referrals. I want to thank Luca, who got their first referral. Let's see, Dustin, Andrea, Heather got their first referral. Marla got their first referral. Jess, Elizabeth, Fuchsia's got their first referral. Heather, Ruth are still working. Michael B's got his first referral. Amanda, Lisa, Jacob. So if you do sign up, make sure, like, to share your link on a regular basis. And, just share where you regularly post stuff. Share, like, a few times, and you'll start to generate those referrals. But I appreciate it. It's a great free way to help the show out, help other people out, and you get rewarded. So you can sign up at sleepwithmepodcast.com/refer. And thanks everybody who listens, who supports the show on Apple Podcasts, on Sleep With Me Plus, or supports the sponsors, because that's what enables me to do this for you. I really appreciate it. Thanks, and good night. All right, everybody, this is Scoots here. It's time to talk about Helix Sleep. It's time for you to get a new mattress. It's time for you to take the quiz at helixsleep.com/sleep and to finally get a mattress that's designed for you and the way you sleep. And I don't know if you knew this, but Helix supports military, first responders, teachers, and students by giving them special discount on site. Unlike a lot of mattress companies out there, Helix owns its own manufacturing facility, so each and every Helix mattress is made by a team of skilled manufacturers and shipped directly from their facility to your door. And you should never have to compromise on comfort. Helix has mattresses with cooling technology that helps regulate your body temperature, whatever the season. Because I don't know if there's anything worse than going to a mattress store, laying down on a mattress hundreds of people tried before you, while that overeager sales associate asks you a bunch of questions, paces back and forth. Definitely nothing worse than that. But you can order a Helix mattress online and receive easy no-contact delivery. And you don't have to be nervous about buying it online, because the Helix quiz takes into account your individual sleep preferences to match you or you and your partner to the perfect mattress. And if you don't want to take my word for it, Helix has over 12,000 five-star reviews. By supporting Helix, you're supporting Sleep With Me and your sleep, and then you get a great new mattress to sleep on, too. So go purchase your Helix and thank me later for your best night's sleep. And Helix knows everyone's unique. They even have plus-size mattresses for big and tall sleepers and ones for little ones. Kids' mattresses specifically designed with them in mind, designed for children 3 to 12 years old. Awarded the best mattress winner by Parents Magazine. And you've heard me talk about my Helix Dusk Lux. I took the quiz. I sleep on my side. I sleep on my stomach. I sleep hot, so I love having those cooling features. And I've been away from my mattress for 3 weeks. I don't even know how many different beds I slept on over the past 3 weeks. So glad to be home. And get a good night's sleep in my Helix Dusk Lux. So you take the quiz, find out which mattress you get matched with, and let me know about it. Plus, Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/sleep. That's helixsleep.com/sleep. This is the best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now. Thanks, everybody.